What's up, guys? Ben here at Enos Tech, and today we're taking a look at the Corsair Carbide Series Air 540 mid-tower case. I know it's not the newest case out, but this was a personal purchase for me, so I figured it'd be another good opportunity to go ahead and try to make use of my new camera and give you guys a little bit of information, as this is still a very good case. As you can see here on the front of the box, of course, we have the Corsair branding. A picture, a front and side view of the window of the case itself, and then it has a bit of a description of what the case is and how they describe it. Of course, it says it has outstanding cooling and quieter operation. It's built for builders, and it's ideal for advanced air cooling and water cooling. They go on to say it in a few different languages, as Corsair is definitely an international company and they have a lot going on, so it is quite nice. If we go ahead and turn it to the side here, you will also notice a few more pictures of what you're going to get inside the case. And it's still some of the more descriptions. These ones are in different languages, but as you can see, like I said, it's nice pictures, description. Now, on the back of the box, Corsair is actually taking the time to show you pictures of exactly what you're going to get in the box. This is how many pieces you can take the case apart, and this is what each individual piece looks like, and they've kind of left them where they go. So of course you've got the two front fans that'll pop in there with the grill, the little cover, then of course the grill on top of it. You've got one of the side panels here, side panel hard drive holders, and as it's still some more descriptions here in various languages, as they've done throughout the whole box, as you can see. And now for the last side, it's pretty much identical to the other side of the case, except of course this one has the lists the contents of what's in the box, and this side has the American version, as long as a couple others. So why don't we go ahead, open her up, take a look, and see what we have. Alright, this case is a bit big, so I've taken the liberty of cutting open the box and giving you guys a quick peek. This is the top of, as soon as you open the box, this is what you're greeted with. It comes with a nice sort of cloth covering the whole case itself to protect from water damage and from getting scratched in transit. I think this is a nice touch, as it just looks a bit nicer to me than the normal plastic that I'm used to getting my cases covered in. Now all I've done here so far is I literally took the box you saw in the last picture and flipped it upside down and let the case slide out. So why don't we go ahead, remove some of the protective styrofoam, which is very nice and thick and is of course designed perfectly to fit on top of the case so it is not damaged in transit. Set those to the side. And now the fun part. Let's find out how we would get into this. It looks as if the opening for the case is actually on the bottom. So as you can see, I've got the window peeking through now. And there we go. There is our first look at the case out of the box. Very nice case, looks very good. I can't wait to start working with it. Immediately I've noticed underneath it, there's a little plastic baggie with the Carbide Series Air 540 manual. We of course have our full side panel with window in it that of course has plastic protectors over it to make sure it doesn't get scratched, which is always nice. Leave those on till I'm finished building. On the front here, we of course have the Corsair branding. We have our grills that are of course covering up the fans. We have room for two 5.25 inch either optical bays, water reses, card readers, whatever, hot swap drives, whatever you want to put in there. We also have our front I/O panel, which of course consists of two USB 3 connectors. We have our headphone and microphone connectors. Then of course we have our power button and our reset switch. One of the things I liked most about this case when I was looking into it is the fact that of course it's designed in two compartments. So the second side also has a bit of a grill there, which is where the bottom of your power supply will be right here. So it can of course go ahead, suck the air in, and then blow it out the back as it should do. As you can see here, we have our nice, what appears to be a 140mm fan included. We have our cutout for the power supply. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 expansion slots for various graphics cards, PCI cards, expansion cards of whatever type. And then of course we have our thumb screws for easy access. Alright, so what I've done here is I've taken the thumb screws out of the back to go ahead and allow for easy access. The easiest way I've found to go ahead to remove the top and the front vents is to, once you've got the thumb screws removed from the top, go ahead, you just slide it towards the back of the case, and then as you can see, it lifts out very easily, offering you room to put your rad in there, fans, whatever you plan on doing with it. Once you have that out, the front, you should be able to go ahead, and as you can see, you just push it up towards the top of the case, and that comes out as well, allowing you access to what looks to be the fan cover, de-dustifier I call them. You know, a little protective cover to stop from dust. What you do to get rid of that, just pop your hand in the case and poke it out because it's held on by 8 magnets. And then of course this now allows us access to our two front fans, which these are the included fans that come with the case. So now of course you could put a front rad in, you could actually put bigger fans in, move your fans a little bit. I think you can actually fit 3 120mm fans in there, or if you want to roll with the two 140mm like they come with, that's alright as well. Now we also have, of course, our side window. Be very careful when you remove these thumb screws, because this is my second time filming this, as it literally, it just comes out. It's not like a normal tower case. We have to slide it to the back a little bit, or slide it one direction. It literally kind of will just fall on out. And then of course we have our other side, which is the same. It still does have the little handle here so you can pull it back, but that also just releases and comes out, and as you can see, we now have access to where our PSU will go, some hard drive cages, and of course our 5.25-inch optical drives or reses or whatever we want to put in there. And that's it. Like I said, it's fairly easy, as you can see, to take apart and get to everything. But like I said, when you take them thumb screws out, be careful. Take them out as and when needed, because if you start moving the case around and bump it too many times, one of the side panels may fall off and you could damage it a bit. Alright, so let's have a look at the inside of the case. As you can see here on the bottom, we have our two removable hard drive cages, which just, of course, toolless. They just slide in and out, and you can bend them a little bit and get the slots on your hard drives to fit in there. They are of course already set up for 3.5-inch hard drives, but as you can see, I don't know if you can actually see them, there's a couple holes here so you can go ahead and actually mount an SSD into them as well. You see, they just pull out, slide in really easy. This one has a little box with it. Not too exciting there. Bit of the Corsair logo, of course. And inside it is the screws for the build. It's a bit hard to get in there. They've also gone ahead and included some zip ties, because everybody knows how important cable management is these days. Now there are also various screws in here. Oh. We have an extra one of the base screws for the motherboard risers in here. We have some smaller screws to screw the motherboard into the risers in here. We also have another pack of screws that are most likely going to be used for screwing the power supply and whatnot in. And then of course we have a pack of about, I would say, 10 to 12 fan screws, so we can go ahead and make sure to make full use of all the fan slots, seeing how the case does come with 3, but you can of course fit some more in easily. One of the nice things I like, if we go back to the bottom 3.5 bays, is to help with cable management. If you can see, Corsair has set up the SATA connectors at the bottom for each of these. So there's no need to run cables for hard drives into the front of the case. You'll of course just plug in your SATA connectors. You'll of course plug these in to the motherboard, Molex or whatever, and of course just pop your hard drives in and you're good to go. Always nice. As you can see, we have plenty of space to help route our cables depending on height, where they need to connect to the motherboard or where they need to run through. We also have, of course, the nice big hole cut out here, which will come in handy for people that do a lot of testing. If you need to switch brackets and whatever for your heat sink and fan, you can do that without having to remove the whole motherboard, which is nice. Of course, again, our 8 PCI expansion slots or back expansion slots, they all have thumb screws. So on the first try, you'll probably need a screwdriver to remove them, but after that it goes back to the whole toolless design that Corsair has set for this case. You will also notice in here that the motherboard risers are pre-installed for you. I think that's a bit of a nice touch. Saves you a few minutes, and sometimes those little things can be a pain to get in there because you're normally screwing it in to a very thin piece of metal. Right, and here we have the other side of the case. This is of course the back of the motherboard, where you would go ahead and put your power supply down here, as mentioned before. 5.25-inch optical drives, water resistors or whatever else, card readers, whatever else you want to throw in there. We of course have all our cables down here for the front I/O panel, USB 3, audio inputs, microphone, headphone, all that. You will also see the SATA connectors here for the 2 3.5-inch hard drive bays that we saw on the other side of the case that are in the bottom. Now, one of the unique features I like that I think is handy is we have a toolless SSD 2.5-inch drives, a little cage. And what I think is neat about this is it really just, it snaps on and off, and you can, as you can see, they're definitely not the easiest to snap on, snap off, or snap back on. But as you can see, that's how they do. And you just slot your SSD into there, and then you can, of course, if you're not me, you can of course pop it back up there nice and easily. So it makes changing your SSDs out a bit easier, and as I said, it goes with the whole overall toolless design of the case. As we can see through the video so far, Corsair really did have builders in mind when they thought of this. They know we all have screwdrivers and everything under the sun that we need handy to go ahead and build a PC or whatnot, 'cause that's what we do. But they've made it easier for us. They made it so we don't need tools unless we want to start modding and stuff. For general installation purposes, we can just go ahead and pretty much just get right to it as soon as we have all our components ready. This is the bottom of the case, and as you can see, we have the nice wide rubber feet to go ahead and lift it up off the ground, but of course rubber so it doesn't slide around as much. As you can see here, this is actually the bottom of where the 3.5-inch hard drives will go. It's nice and open to allow for air. It appears that Corsair has gone ahead and indented it a little bit, so we can go ahead and purchase a dust filter. That's what it appears to be to me. It's a bit sad to me that one is not already included, because they've done so well with the rest of the case to just go ahead and kind of just leave that open. Now of course I know it's on the bottom side of the hard drives, and they're probably figuring the hard drive will fill up most of this, but at the end of the day it would have been nice, in my opinion, to see something covering these holes so it doesn't just allow direct access to the ground.